Hey guys, it's Panda here again, and as promised, I'm going to upgrade this. So, it's going to be a little different after we're done. It's going to be very different after we're done. Let me put this off to the side. So, tools that we need for this one, of course, flathead and Phillips head screwdriver. You know, but just need this to unwind our strings a little quicker. And of course, I got our soldering iron over here too. So, but we don't have to do but like one wire in the whole guitar. So that's the great thing about it. It's going to be a lot quicker of a video because we got these here that I've taken out of a previous guitar. Actually, you guys know it very well. It's the black and red Les Paul style guitar I got. I originally put these in it, but it didn't quite sound the way I wanted that guitar to sound. So I upgraded it. It's going to have a little bit of a stylistic change going on too. Don't pay that too much attention because I am going to get some other parts for this thing later to kind of match it. Or hell, I might put those on later. Yeah, I'll just put those on later. Fuck it. It'll be alright. We'll kind of keep some of what we got going on. So I do need to check one thing before we start. Just see if they... Yes, they do. Excellent. Now let me check to see if this works. Yes, it does. Okay, even better. So, that's less to worry about. I got our full wiring harness right here, along with our switch. Hopefully everything works properly on our first go, and we don't have to worry about too much. First thing now I'm going to do over here at the switch, I'm going to loosen this up because the way this switch works, we're going to have to keep some of these parts. Is the pickups are actually wired to the switch itself. I know that kind of sucks, but that's why they did it. It's a very cheap solution, but it works. We're going to go ahead and just take all these covers off, which does not take long at all. Just kind of sticking it to the back of the pickups. Now, there is going to be one thing about it that's going to have is going to be push-pull. It's going to have that option for both of the pickups. And as it sits now, we only got a spot for two of our pots to go into. This wiring harness has 4 pots, so that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. And also I got our sockets, which I forgot to mention that too. You need sockets anytime you work on a guitar, unless you're just doing like neck work itself, like if it's a bolt on neck and you just got a little bit to do there, you know, you can get by with it. I do like the cavity cover that they got on this. It's actually kind of cool. I'll show it to you in a minute. It's kind of like a coffin type style to it. It's kind of cool. Kind of like a funky coffin. Now the pot says in here are really, really tiny. No surprise there. It is not an inexpensive guitar at all. Hopefully we got enough room to fit these other two into it. If not, then I'm probably going to have to make a custom harness for it. It kind of looks like that may be the case for it anyway. Because I can kind of see there's going to be a little bit of an issue here. I'll point that out to you guys in a minute. Unless I can figure out a way to squeeze these through. Might have to turn it sideways to get them to come through. Alright. First things first. Let's unscrew this jack. It's nice and loose now. We can get our socket on it pretty easy without having to worry about anything. I guess that's going to be probably a 10 or a 12. I'm guessing a 10. Probably work if I turn it around the right way. Not a 10. We'll try the 11 just to see. And what are you? 14. We don't quite need that. But oh, that's going to be a pain in the ass, as I can tell. Let's try this 10 again. Okay. Let's see. You are the 13, not 12. Well, that's a pain in the ass. Let me see if I got another tool laying around here that I can get in there with. I think I got one laying around here somewhere. There we go. Loosened up the bottom. Now we can get the top off. Now we can pull this through. And the next thing we need to do is, honestly, we need to take this solder off of this here. That way we can get them off. Or, never mind. Maybe we can wiggle it out because it doesn't look like it's soldered very well on here. Well, that worked. We got that undone kind of quickly. And we got our ground wire off too already. So, yeah. Ground wire here. Everything's basically ready to just come on out. Set that up here. Want to start with our flathead, and we'll move you back a little bit where you can see. So, kind of just scraping up under here a tiny bit. Ease it up. Comes right off. Do the same for the tone pot. And now we're going to take our 10 millimeter. Yep. Now we should be able to get these off. Okay. There we go. That one wanted to fight a little bit. That's fine. Let's see, they are mini 500K pots that were in it. When I say mini, they are definitely on the smaller side. It's like a dime. Literally a dime size pot. Even though they were kind of cheap on the parts, didn't really hurt it too much. I mean, it's going to be a completely different beast after we're done. Let's go ahead and loosen these strings up. We don't have to take them off, we just got to loosen them. guys. Alright, I got that loosened up. Next, we're going to go ahead and pop these off. It should be nice and easy for us to get it on out of there. Hold on. Alright, now we got our screws out for both of our pickups. We can go ahead and take them on out. And then that's going to be the fun job of trying to get everything else in. I am not worried about the paint on this thing. So there's one. Let's put all this in the socket bag. Same with the ones on the back of the pickup over here. They should all be the same size screws regardless. Maybe the ones that's going into the pickup rings are a little bigger. But, you know, shouldn't be that much of a difference. Now we got our cheap P90s out. Like, nothing impressive about them as far as the looks. They sounded okay for what they are. I will give them that. We may be stuck having to do a full custom harness. If we are, that's fine. Let me see if there's some way I can squeeze this through. If not, then we may be grabbing some extra pickups I got. And going for a completely different sound altogether. Yep, we are. So, this video just changed a little bit, which is fine. That kind of saves me from having to drill into this thing too much. And speaking of that, what the hell did I do with it? Oh, right here. We're going to go ahead and drill these holes out while we're at it, and make them a little bit bigger. That's what we're doing now. We're going to, instead of putting those pickups into it, we're going to put some Alnico 8 pickups into it. Which I know I got around, I know I got those in my room somewhere. Okay. In that case, I'm probably going to wind up robbing a couple things from that. One thing I have learned, drill from the inside. Get that off. This video is going to be a little longer than I intended. But here's the great thing. We do have some 500K pots here beside us that we can use to test fit the holes. There we go. The downside is I don't know if our knobs are going to work anymore. That's fine. Let's see what kind of mess it made on the front. Oh, not bad. You're not really going to see it whenever we get done. It wasn't too bad. Okay. You know, it's kind of a happy accident in a way then, because I'd really do want to give those pickups a fair chance, because it was probably something to do with the old wiring on why I had a bad issue with it before. And something that we're going to do, I'm going to rob the switch from this harness. I got more switches. I don't need to do that. I guess let me put some of this shit back and we'll get back to it. Alright, I'm back. I grabbed our capacitors. I grabbed some soldering paste, wire, and I think I forgot to rob the jack off of that one. Honestly, we're probably going to be better off reusing the jack that came with it, just to make it a little easier to put it back together. And later on I can rob that one. So here's what we got. We got two Born push-pull pots. Kind of standard stuff. Let's check to see what kind of room we got in here. And it looks like I may need, I need to drill that out a little bit bigger for these. So yeah. Not much bigger, thankfully, but just a tiny bit. Maybe up one size. Same thing at the bottom here. All right. And I guess this is going to be a good time to test it again. Yep, that's better. Slightly tight, but that's fine. It's not too tight, it'll work. Alright. Just give me a few minutes and I'll figure out how I need to wire this together and I'll get back to you. Alright. So I got everything pretty much ready for us in a sense. Let's see if this is cool down. Yep. We got a regular pot here, and we got our split pot here. We only need one of them, so we'll put the other one up. I guess the main thing from here is going to be figuring out how we need to do our wiring as far as the our pots are concerned. The switch is not going to be that bad, I say. I might need to make another slot for another pot. I'm not too sure. Probably gonna have to. It's gonna be a little different on how I have to wire it up, since I'm just wiring it up for 2 pots. Let's get this cleaned up. This is the only bad thing about doing this shit. Sometimes you run into snags. And like right now, I'm kind of running into one, trying to get this cleaned up where we can use it. I don't like to run it too hot. But sometimes we gotta run it hotter to get rid of some of the old solder and some of the old bits inside of the solder. Yeah, it's a lot better. So now we got it nice tinned up. We can do some proper wiring with it now. And I can turn it back down to 750. Sometimes when you have issues, you can turn it up a little bit, but there we go. Doesn't hurt to turn it up a little bit for just a minute or two to kind of get some shit straightened out. I'm trying to figure out how we're going to have to do the wiring for the switch here and for our pots to work properly. The easiest option for us really is just going to be to make another hole for it. Just drill into the guitar. That'll make it easier to remember how to wire it. Pretty sure we got another option though. I know we could hardwire it directly to the switch itself, but that's kind of the opposite of what I want to do. Because then we kind of lose our push-pull function with it, and that's kind of one of the main things that we want. And to get that going, all we really need to do is grab a little piece of wire. It doesn't have to be very long. And I'll show you how to do that. So, yeah, just about that much. Not a whole lot. Take it, cut it, we want to push this through, and what we want to do is go right here in the center pins of this. We want to stick it through like that. We'll solder it in, and then we'll ground it. So, first things first, put a tiny bit of paste here. Our first solder point. There we go. Dispose some more wire. We'll stick it to the top here. We'll use our helping hands on this, kind of hold it in place. That way we have an extra hand to get this part going. And just leaving a tiny gap in between the tip and the back of the pot. That way we can feed our wire into it. Now kind of press it down and actually solder it down very well. It's easier when you put a bigger glob on the back of it. Alright, let's turn this up a little bit. This tip ain't getting as hot as the other one did. We'll keep it around 850. God damn it. There, finally. Okay, that's doing better. There we are. That soldered in a lot better. So now we got it set up where we can do our push-pull on it. Once we finish the rest of the wiring. I guess we'll take our drill and find a spot for a third pot. I guess. This one way to do it. Probably the easiest way to do it. That way we can at least have a, I guess we'll have like a dual volume and single tone that way. I'm going to go online and look up some different wiring diagrams before I finally decide on that. Okay, it looks like I was right. I do need to add a third one into it. So I guess I'll grab the drill and I'll find a spot in the guitar. I'm guessing I'm going to put it kind of like in the middle of these two, just for simplicity. Let's see how much room we got here. I'll put this one in and check this out. Okay, so we're going to have to do some extra drilling then. What I mean by that is it's flat inside, and I'm going to have to drill a larger spot out, kind of in the middle of these two, before I can actually drill it out completely for us to have a third pot into it. So let's kind of move everything out of the way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a extremely large bit to start out with. We're not going to go through the guitar with this, but we are going to center it. Okay, we got started. And go slow. Okay. I believe that's about the same depth. Nope, not quite. There we go. So not only do we have our hole somewhat started already, and that looks to be very close to the same depth as the rest of it. That's going to act as our kind of like a guide for it to go into. So we're not going to start out too small, just speed up the process. we are going to step it up piece by piece. Just let it do the work. There we go. Now we can go ahead and step it up to the size that we need. Really, you should go slower than this on this part, but I'm kind of rushing it. I know I shouldn't rush it, but I am. What I'm probably going to wind up doing is probably going to take my chisels and work inside of it, try to flatten it out to where it sits kind of even with the rest of them. Let's go ahead and check to see if it fits. Yeah, feels good. Now the main thing is getting it to fit inside the guitar. We may be able to get it with using our drill. I think we can. Let's just kind of hit the sides over here. Wee! Don't want that. Yeah, let's go get the chisels. This has turned into a project I did not think it was going to turn into. Yeah, but fuck it. We'll get it. And I will start back the video once I clear it up enough to get it in there properly, where we can have it screwed down and all. Hey guys, so I finally got this finished, by the way. We got 3 knobs on it now. We got 2 Geiger pickups in it now. They were the Geiger pickups that I had in the Red SG. And pretty much what I had to do is I had to add a 3rd pot to it, which y'all saw the wiring a little bit on that. But I had to go back in and I had to rewire it. And something else I added, other than a strap to it, we have new tuners. They are locking tuners, by the way. Yeah, I know one's a little different. I had to fix it. But enough about that. I'm pretty sure you guys are interested in how this thing sounds. And it's kind of weird. But weird in a good way. I'll show you. Okay, before I start playing, Small disclaimer. This isn't going to be used for really any videos at all. It's just going to be a practice guitar anyway. So, it's not the best sounding thing in the world, but it's not the worst sounding either. It just kind of sounds... I'll just show you. Alright, let's go ahead and pull the bridge now. It is wired for split coil, I forgot to mention. It just sounds kind of dark. Other than that, it's fine. Dark and muffled. But man, that's just going to be a practice guitar. The main thing I was looking for is trying to get rid of some of the I had in it before. So I grabbed a set of pickups that I had laying around. Figured what the hell. And I wound up making this monstrosity. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everybody.